guess it's continuing to grow and get younger and younger.
You know, it's just I think it's just an opportunity for me to grow. I've been in the sport for 12 years. You know, me and Randy Couture started a career at the same night, but I'm 11 years younger. um, so I plan on getting my world title back again. You know, I was the longest reigning light heavyweight world champion, and I want to be back in those shoes again. Last October, October 6th actually, of last year, I got back surgery, and I got fusion L45 S1, 2-level fusion. Nate Corey got 1 level, I got 2 level, and about 8 months after surgery, I was starting to do some things again, starting to work again, starting to do leg works again, and for once, it's like it's nice to be strong. You know, I mean, I'm squatting 235 for 5 sets of 20 reps, and my legs are strong as hell underneath me. And it feels good, man. It feels really good to be in shape and to be able to push through these fights. You know, I got 6 fights left to push through these fights and try to make my brand bigger than it already is. It's pretty big already, but I want to grow. You know, I want to kind of branch out and do many things in my clothing company, Punishment. You know, hopefully open more MMA or Punishment MMA stores. I have one in Hooters in Las Vegas. Hopefully, I could branch it out to MGM group. So we'll see what happens in the future.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Do you see this going more longer than 6 fights for you?
I see it longer than 6 fights. You know, 6 fights to me. Hopefully, I'll get them done in a year and a half. You know, I want to do at least 3 or 4 fights a year, at least. You know, maybe, hopefully, I mean, if I got a magic wand, I would wave the magic wand. Hopefully, by the age of 37, I'd be done. You know, hopefully, I'd have enough money in my account to take care of my family forever. You know, and just try to invest as much as possible. You know, I've been doing well so far, but you know, there's a lot of bills still to be paid. I mean, more money, more problems, as they say. But it's worth the hard work. You know, I really work super hard. You know, nothing's ever came easy to me in my life ever. Anything I've ever done, even in training. You know, I have problems. I get bumps in the road, and I still follow through. You know, when I first came up to camp up here, I was sick. You know, I had that flu that went around. I had it for like 2 weeks. I thought about, do I pull out? No, I wasn't gonna do that. I'm gonna let my fans down. I want to fight, man. I'm hungry. I really want to fight.
What do you think about the Shogun Machida fight? What did you think?
I thought it was boring. I knew that's the fight that I would see. You know, Shogun's a tough guy, and he comes to fight. But Machida's, I mean, I showed that when he has someone who's going to challenge him, he runs. He looks for points and runs. Then that's not what MMA is about. It's not a boxing match. This is what fans love to watch. That's why we get over millions of pay-per-view buys and sell out arenas with no problem, because people want to see someone get knocked out. Someone wants to get someone get damaged, and Machida runs. I mean, I tried to chase him down, and I made the mistake, and that's how I lost. Was, you know, the mistakes that I did by reaching for him. I almost caught him at the end of the last 15, 30 seconds or whatever. But I really look at the fight as, you know, I felt bad for Shogun. I thought Shogun won. You know, I thought he won by strikes, leg kicks. He caused more damage. But you know, as they say, you got to take the title away from the champ. But when the champ runs, I think he lost a lot of pain.
Would you
But
think?
that's why me and Forrest will fill in those shoes, man. We're gonna put on an exciting fight, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. What did you think about Fedor on Saturday night? Pretty spectacular, or what did you think?
It was Fedor. That's him, man. I mean, he's pretty cut and dry. I mean, that's just the way he is. You know, he didn't really have that hard of a target to hit. You know, nothing against what's his face, but he really just stood there. He threw one shot he threw, and he busted up Fedor pretty good. I don't think Fedor would do well in the UFC. I mean, he's exposed. When you fight in a cage like this, it's a big difference than fighting in a ring. You get pressed against the fence and you put your head against the fence. It's a big difference. This cage is actually a weapon. I mean, if you know how to use it, you could use it to your advantage. And Brett Rogers never used it to his advantage. I think he was a little intimidated by Fedor, but Fedor just he exposed him. That big looping right hand, I mean, that's one thing you got to watch out for. I mean, that's just like the same thing with Chuck Liddell. I mean, a big looping right hand. If you can learn to get out of that way, then you'll learn to beat him. But until then, the question will still be there.
A little insight into your game plan against
my game plan.
Forrest.
It's going to be exciting, and I'm going to try to hurt him. I'm going to try to draw blood. You know, I'm going to make an exciting, grueling 15-minute fight. And if he can last the 15 minutes, then my hand will be raised. And if not, referee will be ripping me off of him. It's gonna be vicious. I mean, this is my comeback fight. You know, I'm not gonna sit back and try to pick points and win just to win the match. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try to finish him. That's my job. My job is I want to get knockout of the night or get fight of the night. I would love that. I mean, that's an extra bonus that Danny gives to us. So it'd be nice to have. Yes, that sounds a little vicious, but that's my game. That's what I do. I mean, you see punishment around this whole thing. I mean, that's my brand. I punish guys. If I win, lose, at the end of the match, the guy goes, shit, that was a tough fight. And every single one of my fights is always like that. And, that's the way I am, man. When those lights turn on and they start announcing my name and I'm bouncing in the cage, and it's just an animal instinct takes over, I think. I mean, I'm not the guy right now. I'm not at all. I mean, there's a light switch that turns on. It's like, a poker face. But in this poker face, I strike.
You talked about the mural of Oscar. Anything else when you got this place that was left over from him that you preserved?
Actually, I have some black high heels. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, nah, those are his girls, most likely. Yeah, actually, the bed I sleep in, it's still has his initials on it.
Headboard?
Yeah, and the headboard. And I'll keep it. There's actually a bench in front of the house, and I'm a huge fan of Oscar, man. I'm a huge business-wise, fight-wise, I've always looked up to a guy like him, man. And I've always wanted to be like him. And if I could walk in a few of those footsteps, I'm doing my job in MMA. There's not many guys in each sport that you could talk about that you remember. In boxing there was Ali. In professional wrestling there's Hulk Hogan, and in MMA there's Tito Ortiz, man. And I'm going to be here for a long time. I started this business before almost every single person besides Couture were here, and I'm going to be here after Couture's gone, and I'll be here for a lot longer.
What did the Fight magazine? They did a great article on you. They had you on the cover, but on the cover it says, "Is Tito still relevant?" What do you think about that? I mean,
well, they answered their own question. I'm on the cover of a magazine. Am I still relevant? They answered their own question. I am. I mean, I took a year and a half off. You tell me one other MMA fighter who take a year and a half off, and through that year and a half, always be in some type of news or something. I understand business. I understand PR. I understand how to go out and promote myself. And I've always understood that. When it's fight time, yeah, I talk smack, but I've always put a fight on, I mean, I've never let my fans down in any way, in any bad shape or form. I never looked horrible in any bad shape or form, even when I was in the worst shape possible. I had my hand raised when I fought Forrest Griffin the first time. I was in the worst shape I was in my life. I had partial tear in my ACL, partial tear in my MCL, bulging disc L45, S1, and I still had my hand raised. So I come in shape, I come in to fight. And like I said, I think God really has a big game plan for me in the fullest. He wants me to shine. He wants me to be the only Tito Ortiz in MMA. And there's only going to be one Tito Ortiz in MMA. I'm going to make sure of that. By the extra things I do.
When was the last time you fought a fight as healthy as you're going to fight this week?
A what?
You talk about your health and how banged up you were before. Now, when was the last time you were this healthy going in?
Jeez. I'd say Belfort, when I fought Belfort, I still had a little bit of back problems, but, I mean, now it's like nothing, pretty much zero at all. I mean, no problems. I mean, everything's been going pretty smooth, besides being sick. That was about the only thing that I had problems with.
How long were you sick for?
Almost 2 weeks. I was in bed for almost 2 weeks. I was in bed in Huntington, and I was like, I gotta get it in Big Bear. And Jenna's like, no, you're still sick, don't leave. I gotta go. I packed all my stuff sick as hell, me and my assistant, and we came up here, and I laid in bed for a week up here. And it went away, slowly but surely. I started juicing, carrot and spinach, ginger, garlic. I drink like 2 of those a day, 32 ounces of those a day, and finally surely it just went away.